My name is Charles, and I'm your dividend.
Invest in better futures with UNCF. Visit uncf.org/invest. A mind is a terrible thing to waste, but a wonderful thing to invest in. Brought to you by UNCF and the Ad Council.
What's going on, everybody? It's your man, Big Mike.
Yep, and this is RC, Rod Calloway.
First of all, we'd like to thank everybody for being down with the Kings and for supporting Sports Kings Live.
Your listens, downloads, likes, and follows have allowed this show to grow by leaps and bounds in just a few months.
Now, if you have a product or a business and you'd like to promote it on this show,
it's simple. Just email us at sportskingslive@gmail.com. And once again, thank you for being down with the Kings.
If you're a single man under the age of 35, you'd probably like to know what the ladies are looking for on an online dating site. A guy who had a few drinks and later got pulled over for buzzed driving. See, that could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. And doesn't a guy who's back living with his parents but calls them my roommates just scream Mr. Right?
Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzzed driving is drunk driving. A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
And we are back. This is Sports Kings Live. Rob Calloway here with you on this Thursday evening. We are being heard via Spreaker.com, also iHeartRadio.com. Big shouts out to Rick Stroud. You can follow him on Twitter at NFL Stroud. He is the beat writer for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers with the Tampa Bay Times. And so coming up over the next few days, we will continue looking at these teams in the NFC South. We did the Falcons on Monday. We did Tampa Bay tonight. So come Monday, we'll do the New Orleans Saints, and Wednesday, the Carolina Panthers. So make sure that you tune in for that. Don't forget, you can also shoot us an email, sportskingslive@gmail.com. Now, I know last night, and usually I don't say it, but this kind of bothers me. Last night, before the show went off, I was billboarding what we had coming on today, right? Because, there's certain guests, and we're working on certain guests, or if a certain guest is supposed to come on the show, and I think it's a chance it might not happen, either because I've never interviewed them before or because I know that they're kind of iffy, then I won't promote it, right? But last night, before we went off, I told everybody that boxing champion Antonio Tarver was going to join the show, right? Mm-hmm. So he's not joining the show. And it kind of hurt me. I can't even lie. Why did it hurt you, Rob? Well, it kind of hurt me because, me and the champ have had this relationship, this, professional relationship for many years. Maybe going back to 2009, to where I could just call him and we could just chop it up and be like, all right, champ, I'm about to call you from the studio phone, record, da-da-da-da, right? So I call him, what's the day? Thursday. So I call him Tuesday. I call him, okay, on the telephone. We talk. I tell him what I need. He was like, oh, man. He was like, look. He was like, now, I want to do it. But he was like, now that I'm with Showtime, I got all this stuff going on. He was like, they real picky about, me just taking interviews. So I need you to contact my guy. So he gives me this dude's info. And like I said, I was kind of insulted. But because, me and him have this good working relationship, I was like, all right. So I hit the dude, So he tells me, okay, well, You know, because right now Antonio's actually training because he has a fight coming up on August 14th. And so that was one of the things that we were going to talk about. We were going to promote the fight, you know, get you guys to watch the fight, right? That's what I do around here. I help folks promote whatever they're doing, okay? So his people, you know, tell me that just to call him today and we could do it. So, you know, I called Champ, you know, right on time, just like I was supposed to. No answer. So I'm like, man, please tell me this dude is not still in the gym and forgot this interview. So I call his other phone because I got both his phone numbers, right? Because me and him really know each other. So then I text his people, hey, man, can't get in contact with Champ. Well, his people text me back and say, oh, my God, we told Champ that it was Friday, not today. He's out doing road work right now. Really? So, yeah. So, at any rate, you know, I expressed my displeasure with his people. And his people informed me that in the event that he wins the fight, not when he wins the fight, but in the event that he wins. See, they don't even believe in him. In the event that he wins, then we can hook it up to talk about, you know, fight, the victory. But if not, then, you know. Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying, man. See, that's what happened. You know, you got people, they don't even believe in you. But that's a whole nother story. But I ain't mad at Champ. But I'm disappointed in his people. But anyway, enough about that. Time for a little segment. I'm sorry, folks. I'm sorry. It just kind of bothered me. It did. It kind of bothered me because, you know, it'd be different if I didn't know this cat. Then I'd be like, all right, I wouldn't even say anything. But, you know, all right. Time for our daily segment that we do where we take a look back in the day in sports. And we'll take a look back in the annals in sports, as we say, with our little segment on this day.
And now, the Sports Kings take a look back on this day.
All right, in 1930, Uruguay won soccer's first World Cup. They beat Argentina 4-2. In 1966, England's soccer team won the World Cup. In 1968, Ron Hansen of the Washington Senators made the first unassisted triple play in the major leagues in 41 years. Unassisted? Okay, now I'm a baseball guy. Somebody help me with this. How was it unassisted? Did he catch the ball? Okay, I'm confused. Because if he caught the ball, that's 1 out. If he tagged the bag, that's 2. But didn't he still have to throw the ball to the other bag, or was the man running towards him and he tagged him? Now, that would be unassisted, right? He caught it, he tagged the bag, and the other man running toward the base, he tagged him. Okay, that's what we're going to say, just for the hell of it. In 1971, U.S. President Nixon gave the keynote speech at a banquet honoring 7 new inductees into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. In 2001, former Dallas Cowboy receiver Michael Irvin entered an innocent plea in a felony charge of possession of less than a gram of cocaine. The charges stem from Irvin's arrest on August 9th of 2000. Cocaine is a hell of a drug, or so says Rick James. Yeah, Michael Irvin. Also in 2001, Lance Armstrong became the first American to win 3 consecutive Tour de France. And I think we mentioned what? The 4th and the 5th one this week? Or whatever he did. But of course we know that he ended up losing all of those yellow shirts, yellow jerseys, whatever they call them. He ended up losing all of those. So that's that. All right. So today I was just perusing. I was perusing the sports stores here and there. And I came across this headline. And the headline said, Gilbert Arenas says LeBron is not a number one option. So immediately when I see that, I'm not thinking that he's talking number one option on the court because, hell, he's the best player in the league right now. Why wouldn't he be a number one option? So then I'm thinking, maybe he's talking about a number one option for something else. Maybe Team USA or, that definitely wouldn't be the case. I'm just trying to, my mind is just, going fast as I'm trying to figure out before I read exactly what in the hell Gilbert Arenas is talking about. So I start reading, and it's a post that he did on Instagram. If you follow Gilbert Arenas on Instagram, which I don't. But this thing just kind of goes on and on and on and on and on and on. So I'll just go right to the part where it says James isn't a number one option. There we go. James isn't a number one option. And this is Gilbert Arenas talking about LeBron James. LeBron Aloysius James. This is him talking about him. All right. James isn't a number one option. And yes, I didn't stutter. He lacks selfishness. So he will always need a go-to guy like Wade was or Kyrie. He lacks what Jordan and Kobe were, great one-on-one players. He needs a pure scorer beside him so he can carry the team load. He gets bashed a lot by the media because he doesn't take over like MJ or Kobe, but LBJ is magic with Jordan-like athleticism. So he walks into stats without trying. When forced, he'll give you 41, 12, and 8. The finals was the first time in his career he was physically pushed to the limit because he had no one to defer to. When players like Magic, Barkley, and analysts bash him, I cringe. Like you people have no idea what he could do if he had one season, just one selfish season like Kobe did in 2005, 2006, when he averaged 40 plus 11 rebounds and 9 assists and no one could do ish about it. It's sad the world won't get to see who I'm talking about because his legacy is built on winning. If you doubt what I'm saying, look at every game he was pissed off and was challenged. This man could be the second or third best sure player to ever play when it's all said and done. And he didn't even tap into his ability to be the greatest. I don't know, man. I mean, that sounds like a lot coming from Gilbert Arenas. Kobe has not won the championship without anybody. I mean, give me a championship that Kobe won by himself. Give me a championship that MJ won by himself. And I get what he's saying. But Gilbert Arenas, you, my brother, you were a very selfish player. You put up some very gaudy stats. How far did that get you, my friend? Not very far, did it? But you won a lot of stuff out there at the Orange Park Fair. You won a whole lot of stuffed animals, but you didn't win the chip in the league. Again, I think that this is I don't know. And maybe I shouldn't even be talking about it. Maybe that's why he did this, just so he could get some attention. Maybe that's what it is. But you got my full attention when you start talking about LeBron James not being the number one option because he's not selfish. I mean, yeah, and I get what you're saying that he's magic with Jordan-like ability. But there were times that Magic took over games, maybe not in a scoring sense, but he took over games. And maybe what you meant to say was that he's not a number one scoring option. Because LeBron, I mean, you look at the playoffs, you see LeBron made big plays. He is definitely a number one option, and he makes everyone around him better. Again, and there it is. I just said it yesterday. I got to stop doing it. But